Guys, welcome on in to another episode, Getting Wild with Terry and Friends, MLB Trends and Betting Picks. I'm Terry, ready to break down today's MLB slate. Of course, if you are looking for NHL plays, I recorded yesterday's show with Jackson, Puck Picks on Twitter. So if you want to go watch that, you can find the NHL plays for tonight. I really do love both NHL games tonight. I've loved both games in that series. All series long. So jump into that after the show if you'd like to get some NHL plays. But first, we'll take a look at what happened in the Major League Baseball yesterday. And while Wednesday was not a good day, we bounced back yesterday, which is exactly what I wanted to do with the MLB player props. Cody Bellinger decided to hit a home run in his first at bat in the first inning. So cash over 1.5 bases plus 120, and cash over half an RBI plus 150. You just love to see it, a home run at the beginning of the game to cash both player props. Aaron Judge did not hit a home run. He got walked a couple times. And after yesterday's slate, I've realized that for some reason I just can't get home run hitters for some reason. So gonna start to lay off the home run bets and just focus on what's been working. That's mostly the total base props. Connor Henderson over 1.5 bases, got a double towards the end of the game. So cash that plus 110 there in that game. Carlos Correa had a single early on, and that's it until the top of the ninth, where he decided to hit a double. So cash over 1.5 bases for Correa. Marcell Ozuna, unfortunately, didn't get a hit. Everyone around him was hitting home runs, but he did get a hit later on in the game, but no RBI, just the one hit. Not the best game from him, so the 0-2 there in that game. Christian Yelich, over 1.5 bases, another nice winner there, plus 110. Yelich playing very well since returning from injury, and was a big reason why the Brewers were playing so well earlier on in the season. Nathaniel Lowe over 1.5 bases plus 105 was a loser. He didn't get a hit. The Texas Rangers offense was absolutely on fire against the Oakland Athletics. And then they come to Colorado, a place you would expect them to hit well, and they did not. So a loss there with the 1.5 bases. Vinny Pasquantino, over half an RBI. I should have took him for over 1.5 bases. He did get a double there. I did not get an RBI. And then the quarter unit on Ohtani was a loser as well. So overall, a winning night, but some tough spots. But we'll move on to today's slate, and we will jump right into the first game that we're going to be talking about, which is the Minnesota Twins and the Toronto Blue Jays, the first game of the day. Minnesota plus 125 to plus 132. Toronto minus 143 to minus 150, 7.5s right across the board here in this game. On the mound for Minnesota is Simeon Woods Richardson, 1-0 on the season so far in 4 starts with the 1.74 ERA. He's pitched pretty well in his 4 starts. Facing Detroit, the White Sox twice, and Seattle. So maybe not necessarily facing the best opponents, but Toronto fits right in with Detroit, Seattle, not the White Sox. They're not that bad, but they fit in kind of with the other teams that Woods Richardson has faced. His worst start was against the White Sox, 7 hits, 2 earned runs in 5 innings. His last start against Seattle, 6 hits, 1 hit, or 6 innings, 1 hit, no earned runs, 1 walk, 8 strikeouts. So coming off a great start in his last game, now facing this Toronto Blue Jays offense, which is just bad. This Blue Jays team is just bad right now. The Twins are red hot. Toronto is starting Kevin Gausman on the mound, who has won back-to-back starts at home against the Dodgers and then in Washington. And overall has pitched much more like the Kevin Gausman we all expected in recent starts. Of course, he did have a few rough starts to start the season, but has overall pitched well recently. But this Twins team is hot. This Twins team is red hot. If you are looking for a dog, I would lean with the Minnesota Twins at this price. But the plays I pulled the trigger on here: Carlos Correa over 1.5 bases plus 140, and Max Kepler over 1.5 bases plus 125. Correa's got multiple bases in 3 of his last 4 games, obviously including last night. He's 3 for 16 with a double against Gausman. And then Max Kepler has a hit in 16 of his last 17 games, multiple bases in 6 of his last 7. Just on fire right now. He's 3 for 13 against Gausman with a home run. So both players playing very well for the Twins right now. Yes, Kevin Gausman is on the mound, but I don't see him throwing a no-hitter. I do see him giving up some hits here. And then, of course, the Blue Jays bullpen will be coming in eventually, and then we know what happens there. So Correa and Kepler both over 1.5 bases, and I do lean with the Twins here in this one as a road dog to start off the afternoon. But we will move on along to our second game: the Chicago Cubs and the Pittsburgh Pirates. The Cubs minus 104 to minus 110. Pittsburgh minus 102 to minus 110. Sevens and even a 6.5 available in this game. No, we're not looking at a hockey total here. This is not a hockey game. This is a baseball game here in this one. And one of the reasons for the low total, of course, is Justin Steele is on the mound for the Cubs. So far in 2 starts, only going 4.2 innings in both games. He's given up 3 hits, 1 earned run in 1 start, nothing in the other start, facing San Diego and Texas. So he has faced 2 teams with good lineups and strong offenses. Now he's facing this Pittsburgh Pirates team, which does not have a strong offense. So that is one of the reasons why we're seeing this low total. Pittsburgh fans are very excited. Their top pitching prospect, Paul Skeens, is making his major league debut here in this game. In AAA, he's got a 0.99 ERA in 7 starts. So he's been fantastic in the AAA. Now coming up here in this game. And yes, this is probably not going to be a high-scoring game. But there's one guy that Skeens is going to have to deal with that is a very difficult guy to deal with, and that's Cody Bellinger. We're taking him over 1.5 bases plus 140 and an RBI for a quarter unit at plus 170. Why are we doing this? Well, Bellinger, multiple bases in 6 of his last 8 games. He's got a hit in 10 of his last 11, and he's got an RBI in 8 of his last 9 games. So when a player has done something in 8 of his last 9 games and you're getting plus 170 for it, that's just something I have to play. So good pitcher or not, obviously this is Paul Skeens' MLB debut. We have seen some top prospects come out and have great debuts, and then we've also seen not so good debuts. So I don't care how the rest of his start goes. Just give up a leadoff homer or a double or something to Bellinger, and I'd appreciate it. 2-run promo play in the last game against with the Twins. I could see it. I could see it. Just Gausman hasn't really allowed a lot of runs at all. So I don't know if Minnesota goes up to like early. I think they probably win the game, so it's a good underdog spot. But yeah, you could do that. Obviously, they are road dogs, and that's what you kind of want for those 2 run promos as a road dog. But we will move on along to our next game, which has a road dog, but we'll talk about it. Arizona Diamondbacks plus 145 to plus 149. Baltimore minus 162 to minus 175. Nines right across the board here in this game. Arizona had their win streak snapped against the Orioles yesterday. I was on the Orioles money line as a premium play, which of course won. Thank you to the Orioles there. Now, Ryan Nelson on the mound for Arizona is coming off a win in his last start, where he did give up 8 hits and 4 runs to the Padres. His previous start, he only pitched 2 innings before getting injured. So not much to see there. And then his previous game was against St. Louis, where he also had a win, giving up 7 hits, 1 earned run, 1 walk. So he has been hittable. Ryan Nelson hasn't really been giving up a lot of runs. Obviously, he gave up 4 in his last start against the Padres, but now he has to face this Baltimore Orioles team, which is one of the best teams in baseball. On the mound for Baltimore is John Means, who's only pitched 1 game. His first start of the year against Cincinnati, 7 innings, 3 hits, no runs, no walks, 8 strikeouts. So you cannot ask for a better first start to the season than a John Means had. And now, when looking at this game here, you guys know where we're going with this one. Give me Gunnar Henderson over 1.5 bases, minus 110, and it's exactly the same handicap as yesterday. Henderson was tied. He's ahead in total bases against right-handed pitchers. He leads the Orioles in total bases against right-handed pitchers, and he's facing one, as I said, Ryan Nelson, who's giving up 7 to 8 hits in most starts. So if he does that, most likely Henderson is getting something. And all we need is a double. Leadoff double would be awesome by Gunnar Henderson. Skeen's strikeout total. Haven't really got into the strikeout totals that much this year, to be honest. Didn't have much luck with them to start the season. Of course, was 1 away on everyone, but I haven't really been focusing too much on it. But I know he is a strikeout pitcher. That's for sure. Let me see here. He has let's see, 55 strikeouts and 34 innings in AAA in his career. So this year, 45 strikeouts and 27.1 innings. So yeah, he's definitely a strikeout guy. Hopefully he doesn't strike out Bellinger. That's all I ask. But we'll move on along to our next game here, which is the Philadelphia Phillies and the Miami Marlins. Philadelphia minus 130 to minus 135. Miami plus 110 to plus 121. 7.5s right across the board. Phillies run line was one of my premium plays yesterday. And last couple times I've taken the Phillies, they ended up losing. So I was happy that the Phillies team we see on most nights is the Phillies team I got yesterday when I backed them, beating up on this Miami Marlins team. And everyone is beating up on this Miami Marlins team. It's going to be interesting when Miami faces the White Sox. That's going to be an interesting series. Of course, I won't be betting it, but it'll be an interesting series to see who between the Marlins and the White Sox can win. This game is just no. I want to say it's priced wrong with the Phillies being minus 130. I think they should be bigger road favorites here. Nobody's been announced to be pitching for Miami yet. It's supposed to be Jesus Luzardo for the Marlins, but of course, nobody's been confirmed yet. So we'll have to see what happens there. Tajan Walker has won both starts that he's pitched in this year. However, first game against San Diego, 8 hits, 6 earned runs. In the second start, 5 hits and 3 earned runs against the Giants. So he has been winning, but he has been giving up hits and he's been giving up runs. If Jesus Luzardo is starting for Miami, most likely I will be adding Bryson Stott over 1.5 bases. Just waiting for official confirmation. Stott, multiple bases in 4 of his last 5 games, and I believe he's 5 for 7 against Luzardo. Both lefties, but Stott hit him very well. All singles, but 5 for 7 is tough to do. So if Stott's in the lineup, and it is Jesus Luzardo, I'll most likely be on his multiple bases prop. Check the spreadsheet in the description of this video on the YouTube channel to get a link to the spreadsheet, of course. But my play in this game, I can't believe I'm about to say this, is a Miami Marlins player. We're going with Jazz Chisholm Jr. over 1.5 bases, plus 130 in this game. Chisholm has multiple bases in 4 of his last 5 games. So he's been hitting very well for the Miami Marlins. Most likely will find himself on the trading block eventually. He's 5 for 12 against Walker with 3 doubles. So hitting the ball well right now. He's had success against Walker, who has been giving up hits and earned runs. So we'll take a Jazz here to get multiple bases at plus 130. And then most likely be finding my way onto Bryson Stott, multiple bases as well, once I find out what's going on. Who is your best bet in MLB today? When it comes to sides, I have one side today, which is my premium play, available at picksandparlays.net. So I'm not going to give that out because it's my only MLB premium play for today. But looking at the player props that would be my favorite would have to be probably Gunnar Henderson over 1.5 bases that we just talked about. That would probably be my favorite play of the day. But my favorite plays of the day are in the NHL. So go watch the NHL show if you want my most favorite plays of the day. Rocking and rolling in the NHL lately. Moving on to our next game here, which is the St. Louis Cardinals, plus 145 to plus 157. In Milwaukee, the Brewers minus 167 to minus 180, 7.5s across the board here in this game. On the mound for St. Louis is Kyle Gibson, 2-2 with a 3.68 ERA on the season. Has been giving up hits. He's been walking guys, but the earned runs hasn't been very high. He hasn't been giving up that much when it comes to runs. Of course, he did have a really bad start against Miami, 7 hits, 7 earned runs, and a bad start against Arizona. He did face this Brewers team. No decision, 6 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned run. So he was 4 walks in that start, of course. He was very good in that start. However, he did not have to face Christian Yelich, who was out with injury during that time. Now he will have to face Yelich. Yelich, multiple bases in 5 of his last 7 games. He's got an RBI in 5 of his last 7 games. He's 4 for 11 against Gibson with 2 doubles. So Yelich playing well right now. Has had success against Gibson. I like Yelich to get 2 bases in this game and then also an RBI for a quarter unit at plus 180. Of course, all player props listed are half unit plays unless otherwise listed, like the RBI is. So half unit plays and then quarter unit plays for the most part. But we will move on to the final game of the night in the MLB that we are going to be talking about. The Kansas City Royals and the LA Angels. In this one, Kansas City minus 143 to plus 155. The Angels plus 130 to plus 138 eights right across the board. I was on Royals money line last night, and they were down 1-0 for a good portion of the game. Top of the ninth, a guy on base, and then Adam Frazier with his first home run of the season puts the Royals up 2-1. And what a great feeling that was to win that play yesterday. So I'm feeling pretty happy about the Kansas City Royals after that one. Now, I did mention in the recap, I should have took Pasquantino for multiple bases yesterday. Took him for an RBI instead. Of course, he did hit a double, but he didn't get an RBI. We're taking him for multiple bases here in this one. He has a hit in 9 of his last 10 games, multiple bases in 5 of his last 6 games. So playing very well right now. He is 2 for 5 against Anderson with a double. So he's hit Anderson well when he's faced him. And Tyler Anderson, obviously started off the season very well. But in his most recent starts, 4 hits, 5 hits, 6 hits, 2 earned runs, 3 earned runs, 4 earned runs. He's starting to go in the wrong direction here. And I don't think that Kansas City is going to beat up on him per se, but Pasquantino, we like him here to get multiple bases at plus 155. Premium plays, as I said, I have one premium play, exclusive play at picksandparlays.net, available in the description below in the MLB. My 2 NHL plays are available for free on the NHL show. So if you want to go watch that, you can get them there, as well as my player props for the 2 NHL games tonight. And that's it. Thank you everyone for watching. No shows on Sundays. Player props will all be in the spreadsheet, which is in the description below of the YouTube channel. And then premium plays will be available on the site. And then we'll be back on Monday for another 2 shows in MLB and NHL. Thanks for watching, guys. Best of luck in your bets tonight. And we'll see you again. Thanks, guys.